is especially for the mu'mineen, for the people who have iman. And what is this speciality that Allah Ta'ala especially bestows onto the people of iman? It's not this that Allah Ta'ala gives people mal or wealth, money, or some other enjoyment of the world. No. And we think that this is the reward and the ni'mah. This is just for the dunya. Allah says, I'm Rahim for this reason that I, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give the fadl, the grace and the mercy to the people of iman. That Allah ta'ala, for those people who have iman, opens the paths of hidayah and guidance and continues to allow the people to benefit from these instances of guidance and benefit. Allah ta'ala with the people of iman is Rahim, and He doesn't want that any person who has iman should go and end up in the hellfire. No, Allah wants to save everybody with iman. Allah Ta'ala gives hidayah, the paths of guidance to everybody. To everybody. With the mu'min, I take the mu'min away from misguidance, and I make a decision that I want to take this person away from being astray. Just like the clouds came and hovered above the earth, the same way Allah Ta'ala says, I take that person who's sinful and I give him the intention or the feeling that he needs to go and meet the wali of Allah, a pious person. So in the heart of that person, despite being astray, misguided, Allah says that a nur comes into that person. A light comes into that person. And Allah says, Nuram min Rabbi, that a nur, a light from his Lord is sent. Despite the fact that person's surprised that me, I'm sinful, and he's totally lost hope in life, no chance of success. He says, no, I'm sinner. Someone says, pray salah. He says, me? Pray salah, how can I be capable of praying salah? If somebody says to him, well, do dua for me, he says, oh, forget that, I can't do dua for anyone, I'm dirty and impure myself. So that person totally lowers himself, degrades himself, and loses hope. Was a person so busy in sinning, and he never even thinks that he'll become good or better. So the first thing Allah Ta'ala does, the first ni'mah, the gift of Allah, is just like the cloud comes, Allah says, I have my asbab, my means, to take a person to the right path. In the hadith it stated, the greatest ni'mah and rahmah of Allah Ta'ala that Allah Ta'ala gives, is Allah says, I send that individual towards the connection and company of my friend, my wali. So when that impure person, a feeling comes into him, and a desire, and a very strong feeling that the nur comes into that person's life, and then he starts to respect the pious person, the wali. He says, no, he's a good person. Let me follow his guidance. Let's see what happens. So Allah Ta'ala creates the means to deliver that person to the company of the wali. Just as Allah says, I send the clouds above the land and let them rain. So Allah says that with the clouds I send rain also, don't I? That's the second step. So Allah says that when the individual goes to the company of the wali Allah, then the individual reaches there, and he is totally useless at that time, a waste. And after he reaches there, just like rain falls down from the clouds, Allah says, then I send my mercy on that person, and I give him my dhikr to perform, to do, to implement. And just like the rain falls from the clouds onto the dead piece of earth and gives it life and to grow fruits and vegetables and crops, the same way the dhikr of Allah gives life to the. And in the same way, this is the situation with the insan, with the human being. Allah Ta'ala says that qasiyatul qalb min dhikrillah. Allah Ta'ala says that when all of this happens, a person attains the dhikr of Allah, and despite this, a person has this, despite having the dhikr of Allah, the person doesn't improve his life and he carries on sinning. He doesn't understand the sharia hakams and halal and haram stays in his life. No regard for haram, for sins, for immodesty, for bad actions. Rather, then Allah Ta'ala says that despite this I've given you the means and the ways, and you know the right message. But still, Allah Ta'ala says, despite the fact that you've been given guidance and you have the remembrance of Allah, just like the rain hasn't changed that land, in the same way the dhikr of Allah doesn't change that person, he stays the same, ongoing. What is the reason for this? So after this, Allah Ta'ala says that the preparation I made for you to save you from the hellfire, then can there be any greater preparation than this? Allah says, أُولَٰئِكَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. And what's the final result? That this person is very, very astray, off the tracks by far, and apart from the fire of Jahannam, no other cure can take this person away from his condition.